Today, I want to share with you 10 sentences that I hear a lot from people who are now or were in the past victims of narcissistic abuse and can be sort of red lights that you'll notice when you think this is what's going on and you really want to be sure. The first one is anything you say may be used against you. People who are victims of a narcissist, of narcissistic abuse, say that a lot. And what do they mean? They mean that in this relationship with the narcissist, whether it's a father, a spouse, even a child, you notice and you feel in your body and within you that things that you're sharing and things that you're saying to the narcissist many times afterwards can and will be used against you, exactly like the phrase when you get arrested, uh, because that's what narcissists do. They file somewhere in their brain things that are part of your vulnerability or part of what you're going through, and they will take it out and use that against you in a way that will help them and that will serve their purpose. So that's one thing. Anything you say may be used against you. That's something that people in these relationships say a lot. The second one is I walk around on eggshells. I try not to be visible. I I just sit in the corner and be quiet. I make myself as quiet as I can. That is something that people who live in these homes, who go through these relationships, say a lot. They don't want to get into the narcissist's vision area, or whatever that is, because they know that will bring on consequences of abuse, of emotional abuse, of verbal abuse, and they just want to stay out of it and do their best not to get into this area where they can get hurt. That is number two. Number three, people who describe these relationships, even when they don't know to say narcissism or this is what's going on, say many times that this person blames everybody else but him. Everybody else but him are responsible. He's never there to take the blame, to say that he has something to do with it, or anything of that sort. So they say that a lot. They notice the fact that this person blames everybody else but himself. That is number three. Number four, uh, people who are victims of narcissistic abuse many times will ask me as a therapist or will ask other people, maybe he's right, maybe it is me, maybe it is my fault, maybe I should be doing more to change, maybe it's not his fault that he's getting upset because I do something that is on me that makes him behave that way. So maybe it is me is something that is very common in victims of a narcissistic abuse. Next one, uh, it's especially parents, but not only spouses and other relationships can people in other relationships can do that to the victim, asking him or her, how can you do this to us? How can you not see how awful it is? How can you not see that this is hurting us? How can you behave this way? How is that possible? Making you feel again that of course that it's your fault, but whatever it is that you're doing is so uh, uh, insensitive, so improper, so not the way children or spouses behave to their loved ones. This is not the way to behave. And how can you do this to us? That is the next question. I'm going on to, I've got one, two, three, four, five more. Okay, we went through five and five more. How many times do I have to explain this to you? Because narcissistic people want things to be done their way the right way, and then because of that, they make you understand that this is something that should be done this way, and if you don't do it, and they explain it again and again, and many times you just cannot remember all these instructions about how to do things, so you just don't do it. Not even if you try your best, but you just can't remember, and that question of how many times do I have to explain this to you will come up a lot, and they will describe that to you when they talk about the abusive and narcissistic relationship. So that is number six. Number seven, many people in narcissistic abuse, and many times after they go out of it, will repeatedly said, I just wanted some quietness in my life. I just wanted this thing to stop. I just wanted this person who keeps on running my life, who's never there to take the blame in anything, who always used things against me and all of that stuff, even though I don't even know what is going on and why this is happening to me. I just wanted to have some peace and quietness and this feeling of not being on the spot all the time and not being accused all the time in my life. And that is something that is very, very typical of people who actually, after they get out of it, but many times also when they are in it, just feel the need to have some time of quietness in their lives. uh, okay, the next one. Other people tell me how lucky I am, how great my parent is, how wonderful my parents are, what a great husband or wife I have, and how I won the lottery in this relationship. And that is something that people will say that they hear a lot from other people who, of course, don't know what is going on in the relationship. The next sentence has to do with this too. People will say the terrible, accusive, abusive. Not people don't always know to say abusive, but they will say hurtful and um, um, minimizing or whatever that is. This behavior they save only for me, for us, for the close cycle of people around there that for the victims actually. And this is something that he or she saves especially for us. And the last one, something that victims of a narcissistic abuse will say a lot, is that the narcissist will many times, even if you have proof, even if you show him a text message that they send or whatever it is, will say, "I never said that. I never do things like that. How dare you? This is so untypical." Not even having to make the effort and say, "I didn't send that." It just well, how dare you, and I will never say that, and that is not something that I do, and not having to prove anything else, but just putting that out there, doing the gaslighting as we know it is called, is enough. So those are 10 sentences that uh, victims of narcissistic relationship, of abuse, of emotional abuse, which is what narcissism is, say a lot in therapy and many times even in other relationships, close relationship, when they start to be able to talk to you. And I want you as the listener, of course as the therapist, but just as the listener or somebody who they are sharing these sentences with, to be aware of them and to know them and to recognize them and to see that those sentences and signs as signs of a narcissistic relationship, and to take that into consideration and to understand what it really is going on in that relationship. That's it for today. Thank you so much for bearing with me through these 10 sentences. My name is Ruth Lax. I'm a therapist. I deal most importantly with codependency and narcissism, which are many times related to each other. And I'll see you on my next video. I'll love you to join this channel, subscribe, to like this video, and I'll see you again on my next video. Bye bye.